Hello, hello, and welcome to the Listen Bitch podcast, your go to destination for unlocking your full potential and embracing the extraordinary possibilities within you. This is a journey of self discovery and empowerment as you explore that transformative power of stepping into greatness. Come into alignment with your God given power and gifts, unleash your soul, and learn to co create a life you love. As you become the writer of your own destiny, here you're going to find the inspiration, practical tips, and sometimes abrasive nudge to take the leap of faith towards your dreams. You're in the right place. Buckle up so we can unleash your inner badass. Okay. Make sure you guys, if you want to support this mission, that you are hitting me up at listenbitchdonations.com. And if you want to change your life, please scroll the show notes and you can pick your own path. So today I really life isn't fair. Life is not fair. But I want to make this episode is going to be about the fact that life isn't it's not rigged against you. Like the world isn't out to get you. It is definitely, rigged for the ruthless. Okay. So what I want to do is drag fairness into light, really. And I want to quit pretending that it is a life plan because this is a fact. Life is not fair. But winning comes from mastering what's not fair and squeezing results out of it anyway. Okay. And we all get this fairness obsession. Everyone has experienced it. And I want to talk about how entitlement sneaks in. Okay. Um, I I really think that we need to have an earn it mindset that's going to help us actually make big moves from where we are. And I get this, like, we expect life to be fair. I should put on airplane mode here, you guys. My squirrel brain is in full effect. Um, we expect life to be fair, and this is why it screws us. Okay, so we've had this kid programming, and I've recognized where I've done this with my own kids. Okay, so I see the contrast, I see what's happening. But we were raised to share our toys, and we were taught that everybody gets a turn. Like, that's cool for kindergarten. Okay, that's cool for kindergarten. But it is terrible for capitalism. It is terrible for competition, and it is terrible for calling. Okay. This sets you up for disappointment in adulthood, to be honest. And when we're little, the grown-ups are drilling fairness into us, share your toys. And what we're hearing at this point is that you're not allowed to fully enjoy what's yours. You owe equal access to everybody. That's great for not raising like a tiny sociopath. Okay. But it is terrible prep for the real fucking world where ownership and leverage and literally innovation matter. This bullshit idea that everybody gets a turn. We heard that as effort and talent and skill don't matter. Like, eventually the ball will roll to you. So yeah, again, that's very cool on the playground, but it is a fucking delusion in real life because nobody's going to hand you the ball. You have to take it or make yourself the one who creates the game. And we're taught to play nice, which we hear that as don't push too hard, don't upset anyone, don't make waves. The worst part, you guys, is I literally all of these things I'm thinking about my kids and their transition to adults. Because once you have like that contrast, because I have little adults and I still have little kids, and I could see how that becomes and what it's going to translate into the real world. I'm very fortunate that my little adults are incredible humans and they're having a great experience in the real world translating all of this into what is best for them. But literally, disruption in reality is how new industries are coming. It's how fortunes are made. It is how movements get started. Playing too nice is code these days for just literally forgettable. And I'm not saying we play dirty, we don't sell our souls. Absolutely not. You have to go out and fight for what's yours. Okay, it's going to be the scrappiest people that are out there doing the things. And then I know I heard this as a kid. Okay, I'm doing a journal prompt the other day, and it's talking about like what are some things that your parents said that really stayed with you? I've heard this before, and I can't guarantee it's from my parents, but I know I heard good things come to those who wait. And what that's going to translate to for someone that is young is that patience equals payoff. Like you could just sit back and it's part of that toxic manifestation idea. I'm obsessed with The Secret. I was very obsessed with that. That's where Brandon Lynette started, right? Like that book right there took everything off for me. But it's not any of that shit. It's patience and production. It's patience and taking massive action. That's the payoff. Waiting alone for shit is just going to make you old and bitter, and you're going to be jealous of everybody that's succeeding, And I know I rub people the wrong way because I do toot my own horn a lot. I'm like talking about my podcast. I'm like, listen, bitches, this shit. Okay. My books are amazing. We were told not to brag about ourselves. We were taught to stay small and blend in with that story of like, don't brag, dim your own results, And it's fucking hilarious because here we are, grown adults, and this adult world literally rewards visibility and self promotion and unapologetically showing receipts. Okay. It's all out there. This becomes a problem later because we mistake equality for equity. As kids, everyone gets the same fucking cupcake. As adults, some people own the whole fucking bakery and other people are just sitting around waiting for someone to cut them a piece. Right. And we're shocked when the scoreboard doesn't reset. In school, every year you go, it's a fresh start, right? In life, people are out here stacking compound interest, reputations, and networks for decades. Like you're walking in on your seventh inning thinking that it's a clean slate, but we don't get that now. And then we've confused politeness with progress. The world doesn't hand promotions, customers, or respect to the quiet kid who never causes a stir. It flows to the loud, the consistent, the fucking producer, the person that's going to do the things. And then we suddenly have this allergy to competition because we're told that winning means someone else loses, right? We don't want everybody to be a loser. Instead of seeing that raising your level forces everyone else to rise too. That's it. You come up and people will have to meet you there. That's how industries, not just people, that is how everything advances. You have to, honestly, this is going to be about deprogramming that fairness training that we've been taught since we were kids. So you don't get to shame yourself at this point. I don't want you to shame yourself because we all grew up with this shit, okay? And what are we? We're like in our 30s, 40s, 50s. I don't know how the fuck old you are. I'm mid 40s, okay? I've been doing this forever. This is the mindset. So when we start to reframe this stuff, it's going to take time and patience, just like the gym, apparently. Okay. This is I don't know how many days back, and I'm still not seeing results. Like, why isn't it happening overnight? That's fucking life. It's not fair. You have to put in the work, bitch. Okay. But just, reframe sharing. Stop deluding yourself for everybody. You want to share strategically, whether it's your content, your offers, partnerships with people who are going to multiply you, not drain you. And then you reframe that turn taking. Nobody's giving you a turn. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, come on, Brandon, it's your turn, honey. Fuck you. Everybody's out for themselves. Okay. You make turns happen by showing up every day until the wheel has to spin your way. That's it. And you reframe playing nice. Okay. Play fair. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. But stop being polite at your own fucking expense. And bitch, you can disrupt with integrity. You can disrupt with integrity. Reframe the idea of waiting. Waiting is passive. Okay, positioning. That's where you're going to be active. Position yourself to be ready when the opportunity comes. That means we're not sitting, we're not pretending to be ready. We are taking action and we are putting ourselves out there. And if you're not putting yourself out there, how are you ever going to know when your opportunity is there? Because how can anybody reach you? Nobody knows where the fuck you are. There isn't some magic genie on Netflix that's just going to interrupt your programming and be like, oh my God, Sherry, it's your turn. It doesn't fucking happen. Okay. And that whole reframe, don't brag. Proof isn't bragging. It's literally marketing. Okay. Receipts inspire trust. And that's how you're going to attract the right people. This kid programming, it just gave us rules to stop society from collapsing into chaos. Okay. And if you continue on my whole kid programming rant, I mean, look what the fuck school has done to our babies. Like, we put them in a little box and you have to learn what everybody learns at the pace that everybody learns. I mean, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Not everybody is the same. I don't learn the same as other people. I can't sit in a room 8 hours a day and sit still, all of these things. Anyway, if you take all of this same programming, okay, the same rules into adulthood, that's why people are resentful. You're waiting for someone to crown you. And then you're pissed when life doesn't give you the same fucking cookie as everybody else has. I'm going to tell you right now, fairness is fake. You want to be a winner, you have to rewrite that childhood script, really. And there's this just world myth. Like, our brains love the idea that good equals reward and bad equals punishment. It's tidy, right? That's tidy. But that it is not black and white like that. We can't label everything good and bad. Reality is not fucking tidy. It's a bar fight, bitch. It's a bar fight. Okay? This keeps you soft because humans are addicted to the tiny little narratives. And if you look at all the perfect Instagram princesses, the people that have it all packaged nice and needy, that's the bullshit they're selling you. It's baked into us. I get it. Since egg shit times, okay, we've told the stories where heroes slay the dragon and get the princess. I called bullshit on that a long time ago. And villains are falling off cliffs or drowning in their own greed. And the moral is always clear: be good, get rewarded; be bad, get punished. That's like the just world hypothesis. The belief that life is basically this cosmic vending machine where you press good and eventually reward drops out. Like, it sounds comforting, but this is complete bullshit. When you wake the fuck up and you step into reality, it is bullshit. What do you need, David? Under the oven. Oh, look in the pan cupboard then. No, under the counter. Or look in the oven. So this mental trap is really going to show up as some karma fantasy, okay? I do think that we get a lot of what we put out. Do I think karma is a living, breathing thing? No. I think God brings the justice, and he knows where we are. But we assume that being nice and honest or hardworking will automatically lead to success, and that is wrong. Because I know a lot of really fucking kind, hardworking people that die broke. Okay. Plenty of them. There's stories about them. Karma doesn't cut paychecks, execution does. And we think that the suffering, we get a badge for that. We get a gold star for our suffering. I've talked about this for years. There's no fucking gold star for suffering. You're not going to go to heaven and meet God. He's going to be like, oh my God, you suffered so much. Here is a life of everlasting love and whatever you want. You don't get a gold star for that. You came here for a purpose, and that purpose was to take massive fucking action. We think pain guarantees a payoff. I've suffered, so I deserve a breakthrough. Bitch, no. Suffering without adapting and transforming just leaves you bitter. Okay? Like, it's either going to be one of two things. It's going to be a lesson or a blessing. We don't suffer through it. We learn. We grow. Suffering is usually self-inflicted. Okay. And then we have that victim scapegoat swap out. When something goes wrong, we look for a bad person to blame. We look for anyone to blame. I've watched this whole narrative of a real life attack on someone. Like, this one person is a whole problem of a lot of things. I watch this really happen in real time, you guys. Real time. And God bless her. I pray for her often. I know the insides. I've talked to her on a level where I know what this does to her, and I fucking hate it. I hate that people have the power to just like go ham on something. Everybody needs a scapegoat. If things didn't work out for you, like, we don't blame other people. You know, I think about like MLM companies. I've changed companies. I used to promote this company for weight loss. Their product sucked. Why am I going to blame anybody else for that? I can stay there and I could be a part of the problem and I can continue to sell shit products, or I can move the fuck on and not blame anyone, not complain, because the same shit happens in every fucking health and wellness company. Okay. So I'm not looking for a bad person to blame. I take responsibility. I can stay here and be fucking miserable selling shit products, or I can let go and know that I'm not honoring anybody by staying where I'm at. I don't blame anybody. I don't blame anybody. But the just world brain needs villains, okay? And I get it. Sometimes shit happens, but stop looking for other people to blame. Take massive fucking responsibility. I'm not going to sit here and launch attacks on people that have hurt me. I learned from that, to the point of like, I've forgiven my mom for the most heartbreaking thing that has ever happened to date in my life. Okay. And every day that I miss and mourn her as an actual motherly figure in my life, I feel the temptation of complaining. I'm not going to let everybody attack her. I'm not even going to attack her. I know we are where we are, and it made me the best version of me, and I'm working with that. I'm not a fucking victim. We're not trying to look for that grand moral balance either. We're just not. We're not doing that. It's okay. Shit happens. We're not going to blame everybody around us. We're here to take massive responsibility for where we are. You decide. It's not like, well, I had to do this because so and so was depending on me. Like, so and so's not living your fucking life. They're just not, you know? Um, Even my husband at his job, he makes decisions because he doesn't want to let people down. And then he pays the price with his mood and his energy. And then guess who pays the price from that? Like we do, you know? So I've had these conversations with him. Like it's a trickle down effect. We don't make decisions based on other people. We don't become the victim. We don't say this is bad because of this, and this. We are choosing what we're not changing. And then we have that delay trap. Okay. Like I've put in the time. So it's just a matter of when my reward comes. Like this is how people waste years in dead end jobs, literally, or that underpriced business, or, that underappreciated job that you have. Time logged doesn't equal time rewarded. It just doesn't. And what I know to be true, reality is not a courtroom. It is a bar fight. Like I know you guys have seen them, whether it's on the news or you've been a part of it. Okay. As a bartender, this is not something that I'm new to. Fist flying, glass breaking, there's no ref, no reset button. Sometimes cheaters win in this moment. Sometimes hustlers get robbed in this moment. Sometimes really fucking lazy people get lucky. But the real winners, you guys, in this whole life isn't fair. The real winners are the ones who accept the chaos and kill Steve. They still keep swinging until whatever it is, their skill or their persistence or their positioning stack the odds. They don't wait for justice. We create what's inevitable. No matter how many times you go for the word no in sales, there will always be a yes. Why not go for no? We know there's going to be a lot of no's. But at the end of some of those no's, there is a yes. You're going to get it if you're asking. If you're not, you're never going to know. So there are no odds to stack. How do you break free of that just world myth? You want to trade justice for strategy. Stop asking, is this fair? Or stop saying this isn't fair. Just ask, like, what's my fucking move? What's my next move? What is my next move? Reward input, not identity. Don't assume that being a good person or a hard worker is enough. What do they say about that? Being a hard worker at your job really pays off because not only are you doing your job, you're doing everybody else's too. Guess what? Without higher pay. That's a miserable existence. It's not okay. Set boundaries for yourself and reward yourself for the shipping, the asking, the selling, the iterating. Okay. Being good or being a hard worker is not enough. And detach that pain from the promise. Hard does not equal holy. Okay. Hard has to equal effective. If it isn't working, you pivot. You don't go cry about it. Okay. And then accept the randomness. Sometimes luck hits or misses. That's it. Shit is random. It's random as fuck. And the longer you spend time trying to decipher what's actually going on, you're missing out on what your performance can actually be doing, what taking action can do, because your job isn't to control it. You've got to outlast it. Consistency will beat streaks every single time. And audit those entitlement statements, because I wish I had a blank piece of paper here so I could show you exactly what you're entitled to, which isn't shit. You know, anytime you hear yourself saying, I deserve this because, okay, replace it with, I'll earn this. I don't deserve shit, but I will give you a list of shit I've earned. Okay. I'll give you shit I've earned. Go through a bar fight drill. At the end of the day, write down that shit. You know, what went unfairly against me today? What went unfairly in my favor? How much shit has worked out for you that you just like take for granted and never acknowledge? What's one move that you made regardless of fairness? That's how you rewire your brain from that justice dependency. And that's where we get to that adaptability, you know, where we can be pliable and we can move and mold into whatever it is that we're becoming. The universe is not Santa Claus. I would say the world is more like Vegas because the house doesn't give a fuck who you are. But if you learn the game and you stack your chips and you refuse to walk away, you tilt the odds a little until they look like destiny, right? This happens. There's that systems training, you know, like I was saying earlier with our kids, our babies are in these buildings and it's where school is rewarding that conformity. It's we have school conditioning is the sneakiest trap. It is the sneakiest trap that keeps grown ass adults confused about why they're doing everything right and still not getting ahead. It's frustrating. It's preparing you for obedience, not outcomes. Conformity is king. You get rewarded for sitting still, you know, for turning in your work on time and matching your teacher's expectations, creativity, risk-taking, questioning the premise. That shit gets you marked down. You are trained to obey the rubrics, not disrupt them. And what happens if we have the clear rubric, right? We're getting predictable results. In school, if you study the test guide and you follow the formula, you can guarantee a grade. In life, there is no grading rubric. That's it. You can do all the right steps and still get crushed by timing, marketing shifts, someone hungrier, whatever that is. And you've got this linear progression going against, you know, asymmetric bets. School rewards that steady progression. Third grade to fourth grade to fifth grade. And life rewards leaps, like those asymmetric bets, like starting a business, taking a crazy opportunity, or publishing a book, or publishing an idea, or starting a podcast. All of these things can catapult you years ahead while other people are still waiting for permission to move up a level. The number of people that have asked me about writing books or starting podcasts is astronomical. And you know, to date, I will tell you right now, I know one person out of at least 100 people over the past 2 years that have talked about starting a podcast. And she literally just messaged me today. She's doing it. And every time she sits down, she's feeling better. I can't fucking cheer harder for her. It's amazing. And I literally told her I was going to charge her money if she didn't start within 30 days. And so now I have to take down my money request. I scheduled it and everything, you guys, because I'm tired of telling people for free what the fuck to do. So you guys ask me, I dare you to ask me, how do you do a podcast? Because I'm going to charge you money if you don't have it set up within 30 days of the question. Okay. This is the shit that catapults you while everybody else is waiting because they're fucking scared. And that school system is thriving on predictability. Same classes, same bell schedule, same test cycles. Real life is chaos. Deals fall through, markets crash, algorithms shift. Success comes from being able to operate in the fog, not when everything is neatly labeled. And in school, if you try hard, right, you're getting credit. Effort alone moves the needle. That's it. In life, nobody pays for effort. Nobody gives a fuck about your effort. Never once in all the times of me being a work from home mom has anybody ever patted me on the back for effort. Oh, Brandon, you tried real hard. No, bitch, people pay for outcomes. And it doesn't matter if you stayed up all night making the slides. If the deal doesn't close, you get zero. School trains you to do your own work and avoid cheating. In life, leverage is everything. You can't do this alone. If you try to do it by yourself, you're going to burn out and lose to the person who multiplies their efforts through other people. You know, this school teaches you follow the rules, you'll be safe. And life is like the rules change. Learn to adapt or fuck off. That's real life. So we want to deprogram the school brain too, not just in our kids, you guys. Yes, obviously my kids are a great example of this because they're in that phase, but we want to do that for ourselves right now. Stop waiting for permission. There's no teacher or principal to sign off. If you want to build something, launch it and reward yourself for risk-adjusted bets. You know, not just did I work hard? Did I take a swing that could actually multiply my position? What did I do today? You're going to come home and be sad, honey, I didn't get a raise today. Did you ask for one? No. Weird. So you don't ask for a raise, but you come home disappointed you didn't get one. Why? Because you show up and do your job. They don't give a fuck. You have to fight for what you want, right? Chase the outcomes, not the gold fucking star. Instead of counting hours worked, count how many sales you've closed or parts you made, podcast dropped, clients served. How many people did you reach today? Like, how far did your reach expand? It's hilarious because my reach is growing, but my followers are declining. And it, for some reason, I'm finding it very comforting lately. And it's very weird because I am the old story. The old Brandon was very insecure and wanted everybody to love her, even if she didn't admit it. And now I'm like, bye. But this is the thing. I will tell you one of the biggest things that I struggle with, okay, is that lone wolf identity. I have bragged about it. I am still currently living it. So I don't ever come here from a place of I have everything figured out because I think that lone wolf myth is absolutely something that has held me back. We want to be people that collaborate and outsource and just that understanding. Like what I know to be true is winners don't do it all themselves. They build leverage. And let's grow through this together because that's our old story, but we're going to learn to leverage. We're going to start collaborating. We're going to start outsourcing. We're going to put ourselves out there in these positions where we see the opportunities and we can grow. We're going to pray for our people. And then we're going to measure the impact. Not everything we've done. Nobody cares about the effort. Okay. Because if it doesn't create momentum, it's noise. So don't hand in busy work to life. It doesn't care. It doesn't care. There's no gold star for, oh my God, I stayed so busy, right? Everybody out there, I'm asking you your purpose. I'm asking you your passion. Like, what the fuck are you doing with your life? And really, what is your legacy? Well, I'm a mom. That's great, but you're more than that, right? You're more than that. So this busy that you have, just even staying busy with the kids and the family, are you still stepping into your personal potential and growing as much as you can be as a person to make an impact on the world? What are you doing? You don't get the gold star for busy. The reward comes from that impact, from legacy, from really stepping into your purpose. Test yourself on this. And then we have this social media distortion, the mirage of merit. Like we think social media makes us believe that the more someone is seen, the more valuable they must be. And I'm going to make that very clear because you guys know I'm haters for the shit that has gone viral. That is not true. Some of the most successful people you'll ever meet barely post anything at all. And I know because I stalk these people and I'm like, wow, he hasn't made a post in 2 years, but I know where he's at on the money charts because that shit's public. Visibility is really just good lighting. That's it. Clever editing and maybe even the luck of timing. And videos fucking go viral because they're funny or controversial or bizarre, not because it's lasting worth. Going viral is about attention capture. It's never about transformation. Show me a video that has gone viral that really provided transformation because a cat falling off a couch can pull 10 million views. That doesn't mean it's teaching you how to change your life or build a business or heal your trauma. We've got these highlight reels that are hiding reps. Like we see the perfect launch, we see the sold out event, the shredded body, but we don't see the 5 a.m. alarms, the failed attempts, the nights of doubt. Social media has erased the grind from public view and it glamorized the shiny wins. That tricks people into thinking results happen faster, easier, and fairer than they actually do. And someday when I'm sitting in my fancy ass fucking podcast studio and people are going to be like, oh my God, you're so lucky. Life isn't fair. I tried a podcast. I did all the things. I'm going to refer them back to the beginning because I've never hid the bullshit from you guys. You have literally grown with me. I mean, you were a part of me dancing with the devil. As embarrassing as that is now, it was a huge lesson in who I wanted to be and who I was meant to be through Christ. Okay. I'm talking all that toxic woo shit that I got into, you know, there's only one person in my life in that moment that slapped me upside the head. And she didn't even do it to my face. She prayed about me, brought me back from the dark side. There's so many embarrassing things that I have not scrubbed, I've not hidden, and I wouldn't because I don't want people just to come into my space and see, like, oh my God, she has books published. What? Bitch, don't forget the part where I tell you I got rejected for 10 years, 10 years straight. Okay. Don't forget this podcast, year two, going, what are we at the start of year three? I think. I don't know. I feel like I've been doing it my whole life. But let's not forget that and the ups and downs of everything. Nobody sees the grind. And it has everybody believing that there's a fast hack, and then there's toxic ass coaches, business coaches, life coaches on the internet taking your money to tell you that they can make this faster for you, they can make it easier for you, and they can make it fairer for you than they actually do, because they make it seem like, oh, what was the famous tagline all these moms had when all the moms, all the business people I knew, from food stamps to millionaire, you know what I mean? Like they post that, and then everything is like the Instagram highlight, right? It's all edited versions, Photoshop shit, filters, bullshit stuff, okay? And it's just all the shiny things, the bullshit. You don't see what really is happening, you know? And I think it's important, especially because algorithms are the one that's what dictates what's being seen. What you see is not the whole truth. The algorithm is going to push content that keeps you scrolling, not what's useful or accurate. You think that I'll ever go viral on social media telling you to get the fuck off social media? That's the dumbest thing. It's never going to happen. They want you scrolling. So yeah, they're going to do a bunch of crazy stuff and everybody's going to talk about the girl that ate strawberries and went viral, right? Or just all the trash out there. Your feed is not proof of value. It's proof of what the machine thinks will keep you hooked. Okay? It's like engagement theater, likes, comments, shares. I know it feels like validation and I always wanted that. Like I longed for that. But they're not deposits in your bank account. I would rather have 0 likes on social media and $100,000 in my account, right? It's not proof of legacy. It's a dopamine sprinkle. Okay. Plenty of broke people are Instagram famous. They couldn't sell a shirt if they tried. And a lot of people that are just quiet, like I said, those are the millionaires. And this trap has created this confusion of people being seen with being significant. You know, when they're discouraged, when their work doesn't pop right away, even if it's really valuable. Even my husband, like sometimes they'll get down and I'll get down and I'll be like, what's happening? Should I just quit? Because he's like, why, Brandon? Why isn't your podcast just at the top of the charts, right? It's really valuable. I can't get discouraged because it's not popping right away. It's been 2 years. You know how long people have had to do a podcast for it to go somewhere? Unless obviously I take my shirt off and I do, you know, a show with my tits out and we could talk about a lot of trashy shit. I'll definitely go viral, but am I going to help anybody change their lives? Am I going to help them step into their potential? No, I've sold out. I've sold out. But it has people thinking, you know, that because people aren't seeing it right away that it's not valuable. You know how many times I've started and stopped because I felt that negativity of like, man, you know, I did a lot of really great TikToks and they never went viral, but the one where I bought my daughter a bunny went crazy. right? It was so discouraging. I hate the internet. I fucking hate the internet. But that's it. Now you've got these people chasing attention instead of building assets and building a system that is fit for them and practicing their skills. And that's it. At the end of the day, everyone's comparing their messy middle to someone's polished end. We we have to keep reframing through all of these issues. We want substance over scrolls. So it's treating socials as a billboard, not a bank. That's it. Visibility on your social media should just point to value that you've built elsewhere, whether it's your business, your offer, your podcast, your books, your community, not to be the value itself. And you have to respect the reps. Okay. When you walk by and you see some guy cut and chiseled and he's winning big out there, you have to understand he's doing 10,000 reps behind that body, right? And then you ask yourself, am I willing to do 10,000 reps too? That's it. It's not getting pissed because someone has done it. Just know that they put in the work wherever you're at. Assets are important. We're not just trying to build content, okay? We want the product. We want everybody needs a system, not a cookie cutter system that's impossible for people like me. I don't fit in anyone's system, but I have my own way that I'm working on, right? And you want to build skills that are going to pay you regardless of likes. Again, content without assets is literally just white noise. It's just background. Nobody's going to connect to that. And you have to detach from the vanity metrics, right? So we're not going to sit here asking, oh my God, how many likes did I get? How many people bought, booked, or applied because of this? Bitch, I put these up on YouTube and I don't even get views on them. Okay. Like last time I looked, 0 views on like 4 of my podcasts. Am I good on Spotify? Absolutely. Apple, I have great listeners. My metrics on Audio Boom are really fantastic, right? For listening. I just started the YouTube and I have never been consistent on it. I can't be worried about the metrics or I wouldn't keep fucking doing this. And you guys have to learn. I have a bullshit meter that is like spot on. Okay. Train your eye for the illusion. When you see a polished success story or you hear it too good to be true, ask yourself, like, what's the part they didn't show? Even with one of my mentors on the phone, she's telling me how great all these things are. And I'm already signed up. Okay. So I don't know why she's trying to sell me on this, but I'm like, nope, just tell me the bullshit. Like, tell me the downside. So I get the downside. Like, just tell me the behind the scenes, the dirty, the messy, the ugly, because I don't want any surprises. And I see through the bullshit. Not everything is ever going to be picture perfect. And yes, salespeople, you're going to make the most money being the most excited, hyping shit up. I don't want to be that hype master. It's never going to be me. I'm never going to be like, oh my God, Mary, we have this incredible business opportunity and it's going to be amazing. And we're going to blow it out of the water and we're going to take over all these countries and continents and zip codes and area codes. And we have, this, and this, the perfect this, the perfect that. We're debt free. We're ground floor. We're innovative. We have all the things. This is perfect. Bitch, that will never be me. In fact, there's a lot of baggage where I went with business, where I'm building my new business from. There's a lot of baggage. Okay. I'll never hide that from people. It's going to be fucking messy. It's going to be a rough ride and fuck it. Okay. Like, you make the decision, you decide. If you saw my Facebook Live yesterday, that's it. You decide. Make a decision. Make a decision. Ask yourself, what is the part that they didn't show? And then this is another part that people get so confused about, is that we want equal starts and equal finishes. You can fight for justice and still accept that no 2 races have the same terrain. That's it. We think that equality is equal to the same starting line. Everyone gets the same pair of running shoes. Everyone gets the same stopwatch and they start at the same moment. That sounds great, but in reality, nobody's starting line is the same. Nobody. Because some people are born into privilege. Some people have connections. Some people have resources. Some people have safety nets. Other people, not to mention names, Brandon, are starting with trauma and debt and generational disadvantage. Okay? I started from some fuckery. And equity is really just about adjusting for the terrain. Not everyone is starting at the same lane. That's what you have to say. Equity matters because not everyone is starting with the same same starting line or the same track. Some people are running uphill on gravel. Other people have a flat track. Some people have hurdles every 10 feet. A lot of people have a clear path with an ocean view. And equality is going to say, like, how do we give people what they actually need to run their race with dignity, not just identical gear at the start. People get confused because we demand equal starts and equal finishes. They're so fucking confused on this. We want the race to begin the same, and we want it to end the same. But life isn't a classroom, right? That's the whole point here. It's not a classroom where everybody gets the same test and the teacher curves the grades to the lowest score in the class. Some are always going to pull ahead and some are going to drop out. And that doesn't mean that justice failed. It means that life is complex. Stop mistaking justice for sameness. Okay. Justice is not about sameness. It's about fairness of opportunity. And if you confuse that justice with everyone should have the same outcome, you're going to be pissed off for the rest of your life. Okay. Some people with the trust fund, great health, supportive parents, they're not running the same place as that chronic mom with that single mom with the chronic illness and no backup. It's not an excuse. It's context. You can't ignore the terrain, but you also can't make the terrain your excuse for quitting. I used to think something was wrong with me because I see all these moms like flourishing and doing the things, what they're doing. They're taking their kids to daycare. Their kids are in school. They have different time than me. It's not negotiable for me. I'm not going to leave my kids at a daycare or a babysitter for a week so I can go to these events and do these things. My kids are the fucking priority. Whatever I do so I could spend time with them, so I could be a parent that's present to them. I never quit. I just definitely felt like something was wrong with me because I'm like, man, how am I not at the same place these people are? What am I doing different? How am I so broken? How are they getting this and they getting that? And like another thing, my husband and I don't have that family. It's the two of us, y'all. It's the two of us. We don't have the aunts and the uncles and the grandparents here. As much as I've tried, my dad and sister are not moving to Michigan. Like as hard as I've tried. And I haven't even tried that hard, but I just know it's not even worth it. They're never leaving Colorado. But that's it. You have to accept the truth. If you want to have a winner's mindset, like you just accept the fucking truth. Your path might be harder. Someone else's might be easier. Neither fact changes your responsibility to do the thing, to run the fucking race. Like it doesn't change any of that. In fact, I think I'm so stubborn. My path was always meant to be like the hard path. I shot myself in the foot so many times because God keeps taking me to this lesson and I'm just not getting it. But you're going to waste energy telling who has it better or worse too. While you're calculating fair, someone just lapped you. So this is really just stay in your own lane. Ask yourself, like, given my terrain, what gives me the most unfair advantage? And maybe it's your story or your grit or your skills or your network. Just focus on you. Write that down. Write down your uphill battles and your downhill gifts. No self-pity, no fucking delusions. Like just write down the truth. And then that's when you can circle what you can actually control and start to weaponize. Be honest with yourself. Like what is harder for me than other people? Tech. So many people are tech savvy and I don't care who you are. I know there's so many people on the internet that want to choke me because I'm like, can you help me set this up to this? And they literally just talk to me probably like I'm 5 and I still don't get it. Like for some reason, like doing stuff on the computer, it's harder for me than it is for other people. What's easier for me than other people? I can fucking sit in a room and just talk to myself for hours and hours and hours and hours. And here's the thing. I don't have to pretend or be under the delusion that I'm uniquely cursed. Everyone has both. I have something that's really fucking hard and I have something that's really fucking easy on both extremes. Where I know someone who can knock it out all day on the park, doing all the tech stuff, setting up emails, setting up, landing pages, custom websites, connecting, writing code, doing all the stuff. I don't even know the lingo. It's that foreign to me. That would never be able to even do a Facebook Live. But it doesn't matter what other people can do. What can I do? I'm not going to sit here and say it's unfair they had it easier. It's inevitable that everybody's path looks different. My job is to run my race the hardest, the smartest, and the longest I fucking can. You can fight for the bullshit, for the better systems, for justice, more opportunities, helping people through the rough terrain, and you can still accept that fairness in the real world sense will never exist. Both can be true. And the people who really are rising to the top are the ones who are going to stop waiting for the world to flatten the track, and they're just going to start trying to run it while it's all jagged. Expecting fairness is a comfort blanket that's going to keep you from building the capacity required to win in the real world. And then this entitlement, and I even just brick and mortar businesses, these people that have to deal with entitlement, it is so crazy because we're going to talk about how it shows up and how you can diagnose it fast, because it doesn't always shout. Sometimes it is just a whisper, and all of us have it. All of us have it. Like, we think, I did the work for a week. Where's my breakthrough? I posted twice. Why isn't my audience exploding? I went to the gym 3 weeks in a row. How come I can't fit into the smaller jeans? People should support me because I'm a good person, right? I deserve a shot. You don't deserve a shot, bitch. You deserve a chance to earn it. We lie to ourselves. Like, it's harder for me because la 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 la. Might be true, but it's still irrelevant to the actual scoreboard of life. I'll start when everything feels right, when I'm ready. And the translation for that is later equals never. Entitlement is not about thinking that you're special. It's believing that the rules shouldn't apply to you, or that effort is going to guarantee some sort of outcome, because effort buys you a ticket. It buys you a ticket, but it's that excellence that's really going to send everything home. And we need to have that perspective shift, right? From fair to like platform. Fair is the weather. You don't control it, but you gear up for it. The platform, this would be like, my girl playing soccer. The field is the game, positioning, reps, stamina, plays, all of that. Your job is just to get so good at playing the field that weather becomes a background noise. Does that make sense? These little 6 and 7-year-old cuties out there need to figure their shit out, okay? Yeah, they can't control the weather. It's cold outside. Who cares? Go do your reps, get in your position. Keep the other team from getting the ball. That's it. You need an earn it operating system, you know? And do an audit for yourself. Do an unfairness audit. Just that all the disadvantages, time, money, network, body, family duties, whatever that is. And next to everything that you write down what coincides with that. Less money. So maybe you need to learn copy, outbound, scrappy distribution, less time, spend it where you're going to get the highest kickback, whether that's your skills or asset. You have to list your advantages too. Like, you have to know. You have to know whether it's your voice or your grit or your faith. Maybe you have this incredibly unusual story. You can build a whole entire business on an unusual story. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. Brandon, what are you talking about? Well, my whole story started with, once upon a time, bitches, I thought everything was a fairy tale, and that the prince would come and someone's going to save me and everything's just going to get easy because I've been fighting so fucking hard. Where's my time? Where's my break? I've been suffering so long. When is this just going to fall into my lap? No one ever sat me down and said, hey, you have to work for this. Like, I know The Secret made you think you could just sit back and manifest to the universe. Yeah, no. That was my story. I emancipated at the age of 15, and I've been out here swimming uphill ever since. And that has fucking been my advantage, because that story is badass, because I could show people what's possible. You don't get to blame your childhood. You don't get to blame your parents. You take massive responsibility. Don't have a mom, be a good mom. Don't have a good partner, be a good partner. That's how it goes. And you just lock in. Do the things that you avoid. Just one thing. Every day do one thing you avoid. Maybe it's cold messaging people or raise your prices or go do 30-minute hill sprints. My kids used to do that. Do a live stream. Do it without makeup. Ask for the testimony. Okay? This is so important. Do one hard thing because that's going to rewire your brain for pressure. How can you move the needle? There's so many ways that you guys can just move forward through this. Do an entitlement detox like this entitlement detox. Okay. I think this will be a great challenge for you guys this week. No complaining about anything without a proposed fix. Try that. Try not comparing your chapter to someone else's highlight. Try no free resentment. Pay full price for the thing you want others to pay you for. Do that. Like you want people to pay you for something, then you pay someone for that. Full price. And ask. Make the ask daily, whatever it's going to be. Collaborations, Brandon, you got to do it. Maybe you need to ask about sales. You guys have to serve first, like deliver the value before you expect it back. Post the process, like be honest with the receipts and own the misses. Publish your L's. I do it all the time. It's messy, you know? We have to understand we don't need life to be fair. We need life to be finishable. So what is the next finishable action? What is the next right thing you can do? Start a timer, do the rep, and then do it again. And you just keep repeating this. God never promised fair. He promised presence. Like your job, multiply what you're given. 5 talents or 2. Expecting fair keeps you burying your talent in the ground. It really does. It really does. And if you become this servant and you become obedient, you'll turn everything into more because it's yours to multiply. Hold yourself accountable. Life isn't fair. And that's really the point. I love you guys. I got to get my kid to volleyball. I'll see you tomorrow.